Hello world and welcome to Tinkering Loyalty. Today it's a special video because someone called me on my bullshit. Tony Kiami replied to the Segmentation Masterclass. He liked it and he wanted a follow-up video, so today that's what you are getting. I'm going to show you my method on how to do my user segmentations. But first, hi, my name is Renato Carboni and I'm a loyalty strategist from Brazil, now living in Portugal. You can find all about me at the description. Let's start. The method that I'm going to share with you today was idealized by me roughly 7 to 8 years ago, and I did it with two friends, Jonatas Rabelo and GIovanna Vernucio, when we were asked to revise a 78 action plan that was designed by an external consultant, and we needed to understand if those ideas generated results, what should we do next. But the real problem was, with 78 different action plans, we would have the same user being targeted on multiple analyses, just like what you get in your inbox right now. So you are receiving the buy this swimsuit and buy a blanket at the same time. So is it hot or cold for you now? To move away from that, I designed my own method that I'm going to share with you today. So the base is the RFM, the same thing that we've discussed in the previous video. I'll leave the link for you here. And what we are going to do is take it to the next level. When I say take it to the next level, I'm going to share with you my method that we call in English Basao, but in Brazil there's an accent, Basão. The Basao method was crafted for us to find a unique answer for each user. It has 5 steps. It starts with the bucket of souls, then you will assign the behaviors, set score values, assign scores, and lastly, only one result per user. So let's start. When you assemble your bucket of souls, this is segregating all the information that you have in 3 main pillars. The first one is the identifier. It can be an ID, ideally an ID. It can be their names, it can be their emails, whatever you have. You could also have more than one, but at the end you will have to select a strong identifier. Okay, so the first step is getting your identifiers, then your filters, anything that you have that qualifies those users. So it could be their gender, it could be their location, it could be the type. Let's say they are sellers and they are owners and they are whatever. And at the end, the scores from the behaviors. We are going to see all of that in details now. When we say assign your behaviors on the second step, it's basically building your own Tetris game with your data. So you start using the RFM data, but we will add our own spice to that. But you can also add more informations. I have here 2 examples. The first I'm calling multiple stores. So let's say that you are a chain and you have more than one store, or you have more than one location. You have in city A and city B. So this will be relevant when we get to the 4th step, and I'll show you how to use that. The other example could be a period, and I'll give you more details when we arrive to the 4th step. The 3rd step is setting your own score values. When we were seeing the RFM, it uses the quintile approach, and it makes a lot of sense because it also gives you the Pareto and whatever. It focuses on having a uniform universe, and in this approach we won't care about that. What we are going to do is bring our human perception to how we want to assess our data. And I recommend you do it using only 4 scores instead of 5. Why only 4? Because I don't want anyone in the neutral stage. So it can't be 3, it can't be 5. We need to have, I really don't like this, I don't like this, I like this, and this is the best for me. So that's why I always use or recommend you having 4 criterias. Once you have the 4 criterias assigned for each of them, what you will do with these 4 criterias is create your own scoring. So here are the 2 new examples that I've added to the RFM analysis, and I'm putting my own business agenda on it. So the worst thing that I could have if I have multiple stores is if you visit only one of them. So in this example, the score 1 would be visited only one store, and the maximum score is above 5. This is just my example. You need to suit this to what makes sense for your business. When we see the period 1, the period I was trying to refer is the time of the day that you regularly visit me. So if you are a bakery, you want to know if they are coming only on breakfast, only on lunchtime, only on dinner time, or more than one period. So in this example, I structure the score with what I feel makes more sense to my fictional business here. So if you come at night, it means that you were not around. You took the effort to come here. This is just my assumption here. And at the end, what I wanted to show you is I want you to visit me not only for one reason, not only because it's convenient in the breakfast. I want you to visit me more than once. That's what I was trying to explain. Once you do that, you will do the same thing that I taught you on the RFM. You are going to create your own unique matrix. I always like to use this 3-layer scoring. So here I'm calling acquire, grow, and shoot. The names can change. I use different names on the RFM analysis. And now that you have your audience all scored and you will sum all the scores, you will place them in this dashboard, and now you will know what you have to do with each of them. Because as we've seen in the RFM, this is kind of a graph. We are trying to push everyone to the best on the top corner right, and we will do it one square at a time. In here, just if it was not clear to you, this score starts from 5 to 20 because we had 5 criterias ranked from 1 to 4. The minimum grade for each score is 1. That's why we start with 5, because if you are my worst customer, you will have at least score 5, and if you succeed in at least one thing, then you are now in score 6 and then 7 and so on. So this was our final step explaining the method, but now I'm going to show you the end result. So this is the final Basao, where this becomes the only matrix that you need to take action on your data. Of course, you can have more than 5 criterias and so on, but once you have this unique framework, you can use the filters on the left to segregate. I need to do an action only in that city or whatever criteria you had. And you will see how your past data behaves so that you can start creating the new action plans. When we do this, normally we do it custom. Each brand that asked my help in the past and will ask my help in the future, I create this matrix to them. And the way that we do it is a one-click mailing. What means is, if you tell me, we are going to work with the people on the score 17. This is just fictional data. Of course, you have more than, I don't know, 300 customers that I'm showing here. You just click on 17, right click and export data, and you have your own mailing, and you could send a message right away to them. Okay, but this is how I do it on my loyalty assessment, how I do it on my projects, and this is kind of surprise. I was working on it on backstage. We are working to have this converted into a product. We have stopped at that right now due to funding. I'm focusing on other things. So for the moment, the only way you could have access to this was custom made by me, and you could reach out to me and we could do it. But I'm working to create this as a product that could be made available for you without talking to us. You could upload your data and use this. And we are trying to achieve that in two steps. The first one is when we have one person, one message. That's what we believe. That's why we create this dashboard, because we can have multiple objectives in your inbox at the same time. Otherwise, you feel that we don't know what we are doing and you won't engage. First, try the swimsuits. If it's not working, then move it for blankets and things like that. This matrix helps you do that. The way we build this is a daily refresh. That's one of the main problems when assessing data. And when you have 78 action plans, you create that in 1 week and they are perishable. The behavior that you have measured last week is not the behavior that you have right now. So you need to move into a way that your data is always up to date. It can be better than daily even, but up to date where you just one click it and send the correct message to them. And the future step where we are trying to achieve, and that's why we've stopped because I need to bring more funding to my team to do that. We want to add a minimum effort algorithm. What this means is we had 5 criteria: RFM plus location plus frequency, period, I called. So if my score, this user score is 10, and I want him to get to 11, what is the easiest thing that user can do to become an I11 user? So we do this again, custom built, but we wanted to have this already in the platform so you would have all those answers right away. We want to AI empower it to generate additional insights through the pass of time. So you are doing actions with the 10 to try to convert them to 11 and it's not working. And we want AI to give you hints or to propose you different approaches. And we want to make this a one click, one action instead of one click, one mailing. This way, you already configure your strategies and you click it and it would integrate with your mailing and you could already send the message to the audience that you wanted to target. So that's it for our big idea. I think I'm going to create a video on how to create this minimum effort algorithm as well and explain to you how this works or how this could help you. But again, I have other contents that were planned. I had to do this because someone reached out, and please reach out in the comments, and if that's the case, I'll focus on the algorithm in the next one, okay? Thank you so much for watching. Obrigado.